Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
PNC, committed to Central Ohio, for the achiever in you. From these contributing sponsors and viewers like you, thank you.
This time on Broad and High, we'll visit Xenia to check out the latest barn painting to dot the Ohio landscape.
You know, it is a historical thing that we're trying to do here.
A Dayton area artist shows us how she transforms the pages of books into folded masterpieces. And get into the spooky spirit of the season with a Halloween performance by the recently deceased. This and more right now on Broad and High. Hi everyone, welcome back to Broad and High. I'm your host, Kate Quickle. Now you might already be familiar with the work of the artist in our first story tonight. He's the guy behind all those barn paintings throughout Ohio that commemorate the state's bicentennial. His name is Scott Hagan, and this time he's painting barns featuring historic people and events, like the one of Annie Oakley out west in Darke County. The latest one was recently dedicated out in Xenia, and we were there to cover it.
We're in Xenia, Ohio, which is in Greene County, and today we are working on one of our Ohio history barn murals. We are working to capture Ohio accomplishments, special events, and important people and places on a series of barns all across Ohio. We partnered with Scott Hagan on this project because of his reputation with the Ohio Bicentennial Barns from 2003. That's a project that many people across Ohio know.
Well, I'm Scott Hagan. I'm known as the barn artist, and I paint barns. So anything on a large scale is kind of what I'm known for, and on unusual surfaces. So barns, silos, buildings. A big thing I'm doing a lot of is gymnasiums for schools.
Tecumseh has long been associated with the Greene County, Ohio area.
And since Tecumseh was born in this area, just over here on 68 at Old Town, I guess that's why they wanted to put Tecumseh's picture in the area. And why they picked our barn, I have no idea, but we said, sure, why not?
This is among a series of barns that we've painted across the state. We will just drive through counties all over Ohio and try to find barns that are close to a highway or close to a road that's heavily trafficked, where people will be able to see these barns up close, and they'll be very easily approachable and accessible for people. And so we thought this was a perfect barn, and we're so grateful that the Fergusons were open to partnering with us on this. So the way this process works, how it really gets started, is there's a lot of research that goes into it. We want to pick an image or a photo or a portrait that's going to be the most historically accurate. So we do the research, and then we work with graphic designer David Browning to come up with a concept or a design, and then Scott Hagan will utilize that design for his larger mural.
A project like this will probably take 2 to 3 days. All the artwork is done by hand, so that's really important to me.
We wanted to honor the Eastern Shawnee tribe and the Shawnee tribe with this mural. We know that Ohio has a very rich American Indian history, but in the 19th century, a lot of the tribes that were native to Ohio were forcibly removed. Well, Tecumseh is best known as a Shawnee war leader, and he is most famous for creating a coalition of tribes in the Northwest Territory to combat against the white settlers in the region. So no photographs of Tecumseh exist today, so we relied on portraits that were done of him in the early 19th century. The one that we'll see on the side of the barn actually comes from the Chicago Field Museum. We always grew up knowing him as Tecumseh, and that's really the way that English speakers came to know him. But if you were to listen to someone from the Shawnee tribe say his name, it would have been pronounced Tecumseh. You'll see above his name on the barn a panther surrounded by a series of stars. And the panther is actually from the Eastern Shawnee tribe seal, and the stars is from the Shawnee tribe seal. Our mission is to spark discovery of Ohio stories, and within the Ohio History Barn Project, it is really a perfect encapsulation of that. The idea is that when you drive by or you walk by and you see this barn, it will inspire you to discover a little bit more about your own community, the history that's important to you, and to have pride in where you come from. And so that's what we hope these barns provide to all Ohioans.
You can keep up with all of Scott Hagan's latest projects by following him on Instagram under the handle The Barn Artist. Our next story takes us out west to Troy, Ohio. That's where Kylene Green transforms books into magical paper sculptures. Check it out.
I've always liked to reuse things, and it just seems natural since I like books so much and I collect them, but not all books are really that pretty or make me want to reread them again, that it's nice to be able to do something else with them. For me, repurposing books comes a lot from I like to recycle things. And after visiting the library book sale several times, there are hundreds of thousands of books that get discarded from the library every year. So it's a really great opportunity to turn them into something else. I do occasionally read some of them before I fold them, so that's an added bonus. I get to read and then I get to do something fun with it. Most of my inspiration for the sculptural quality ones would be geometric forms, which I tend to enjoy a little more so than the ones that are like actual words or patterns. Mostly because I can make my own patterns for either one, but I just enjoy the geometric forms a lot more. If it's not a geometric pattern, sometimes I just start folding to see what things will look like for that. But anything that's like letters or words, shapes like hearts, stars, pretty much any shape you can imagine. I try to get things that aren't overly complicated because the more pages it is, sometimes it doesn't look like what it's supposed to look like. So usually simpler things work out a little better. I actually create my own patterns. I go into Illustrator and I make a grid and then place a picture behind it. That way I've got everything lined up. Once I've made the grid, I pick a book, and sometimes I have to pick a book that's the right size. Sometimes I'll pick them oversized. It just depends on how much space I want around the object. I make marks on the pages as to where they need to be folded. Then that's what I use the grid for. And then after I mark all the pages, I start folding. Start to finish, it can take maybe a couple hours, just depending on how many pages it is. Sometimes it's only 30 or 40 pages. And then some I've done are over 100 pages or more that I've got to mark and then fold. Does not involve a ton of tools. What I use most is a mechanical pencil because it gives a really nice fine line when I'm marking patterns on the book pages. Sometimes I use a bone folder if I want a really crisp edge when I fold a page, but normally it's just a book, my hands, and whatever pattern it is I've made. I like to make them just like a right angle. If you have a page that's too close to do that, you just fold it in as far as it will go. I teach book folding classes because I think they make really nice gifts, and it's a fun project. It can be a little tedious and time consuming, but it's enjoyable. I myself find it more of a meditative experience because you can just kind of get in the zone and start doing things, and I like to share that with people. I think teaching others helps me understand a little bit more of how I make my patterns and what I could do different to make it easier, which is good because I'm always looking to make things easier or more fun. I haven't had too many people get mad at me for folding pages. Every once in a while they'll be like, oh, how can you do that? It's a book. I love books. But honestly, I don't fold books that are like super special. They're not first editions, signed. For one thing, really old books, the paper doesn't fold well, and they usually look neater. So those are the ones I collect. Whereas more modern books, the paper's more flexible and you can fold it without cracking. It makes a difference. It really does. Sometimes when I start looking at a book and think I'm gonna fold it, I do decide not to because I like it too much. It does happen.
Speaking of books, be sure to tune in to the grand finale of The Great American Read on Tuesday, October 23rd, right here on WOSU TV. After millions of votes, find out what book is crowned America's best-loved novel. Emmy Lazarus, Imhotep Jones, Dr. Shocker, and a nameless zombie drummer are the horror personas behind the Halloween-themed punk band known as The Recently Deceased. The group finds inspiration in both classic and campy horror films. I mean, the band's name was inspired by a scene from Beetlejuice. They hope to get people in the spooky spirit of the season with sounds that are reminiscent of 60s rock meets the Munsters. Here they are performing their original song, The Werewolf.
Big teeth, big claws, yeah, his appetite's destructive.
You can see the recently deceased live in concert on Sunday, October 21st at Little Rock Bar. Check out the band's Facebook page for details. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so it seems fitting to bring you this next story about a Florida-based artist who's helping survivors rediscover their own beauty through the healing power of body art.
I've been body painted myself several times. That's kind of how I started, but I forget how it is to stand there around and see yourself, and I can kind of relive it every time I body paint by watching them go from kind of like reluctance and self-conscious because you're starting off with no clothes, and then as you get color and put it on you, it's like you're transformed into another species that's above and beyond. My name is Lisa Shoulder. I'm a part-time body painting artist. I body paint breast cancer survivors.
Lisa is like a whirlwind train wreck. That's how I view every time we go into a paint job with her. The survivors come in nervous because they don't know what to expect. Lisa comes in and just starts to talk to them about their favorite colors or experiences in their life, and then she gets to work and I kind of distract them. I'm Peggy Sherry. I'm the founder of Faces of Courage and the CEO, and we run cancer camps.
Well, honestly, I had no idea what I was going to experience, and it truly was an experience, I will say that. I lead a support group in the Tampa Bay area, and I see so many women that are really struggling with their body image after fighting cancer, especially fighting breast cancer, and having to go through mastectomies and having scars that most women around them, they're not bearing those wounds on their body. And so, I went into it with an open mind, and I just had no idea how empowered I was going to feel. I saw myself in a completely different light, and just as a piece of artwork, it was beautiful. I met Lisa about 18 months ago. Peggy Sherry, who's founder of Faces of Courage, invited me to, if I wanted to do Bodies of Courage. I said, absolutely. When you go through cancer and everybody's looking and poking and prodding at you, this was a completely different experience because it was something beautiful coming out of it in the end.
When we started this project, we had no idea what we were doing. It's just a little art project that grew legs and ran. But what we thought that we were doing was just creating some art, but what we didn't know was that we were changing lives. And subsequently, all 31 of the cancer survivors that we have painted have really had some kind of transformation, whether it's how they viewed their body, or whether it was sitting down and just being able to talk and tell their story for a whole day and have someone listen who understands. Every single person can tell you that being painted by Lisa has made a difference in their life.
I body painted my first breast cancer survivor for 1 month of a calendar that was kind of a fundraiser, and it's a woman named Catherine, and she came down with her husband, and it was such a great experience that for 3 years I looked for someone to collaborate with and body paint breast cancer survivors, just because once you paint someone, they have such a better self-image.
When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I started doing some art therapy work, and it's been very healing for me just to have my own body come alive through art and painting, and my scars covered up. It's been very healing process.
When I'm painting over scars, I guess I'm conscious of making sure that the paint's going to actually conceal it, because typically a design is going to help me conceal it better. And then I've accented scars as well. I think it just depends on the person. There's times when you can accent it and it's just as beautiful as concealing it.
I think anyone who has had any type of cancer has got body issues. They have issues of trauma and drama, and I think that anyone who's been diagnosed with cancer can benefit from doing a paint job with Lisa. We have given them lasting artwork so that the families have a beautiful portrayal of the dark time in their life. Absolutely, it is a life-changing experience for every single one. There hasn't been a single person that we've painted that haven't said, I want to run home now with the clothes off and just wear the paint. And we've just like, no, you got to cover up. You can't do that.
Tell anyone that's considering to do it, don't chicken out, don't think you can't, because it will just put you to a next level of accepting who you are now, what your body looks like now, and that it can still be considered beautiful.
That's our show. You can check out all of our stories at WOSU.org, or you can download our free WOSU Public Media mobile app. Of course, you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're closing the show today with music by the Devil Doves, based right here in Columbus. For all of us here at WOSU, I'm Kate Quickle. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here next week.
Every time you go away, it makes me want to scream. Looking at me through the window, I'm lighting on a cigarette. Well, you're gonna be mad, I bet.
Brother,
I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody'll dare say to me, eat in the kitchen. I too am America.
Join Columbus as we recognize, reflect, and revive the spirit of the Harlem Renaissance. Go to cbusharlem100.org for more information.
Initially, when I came here, I'd never looked at Columbus from the point of view of really doing something out in the city. So I roamed around the city and looked at different sites and proposed different kind of ideas in my mind of things I could do. But I heard someone say that Scioto River meant hair of the deer. But that kind of piqued an interest, and I started thinking about deer, and it was supposed to be kind of in this area where people lounged around and walked around and took it easy. I just started thinking about deers instead of people doing the same thing, just kind of lounging around. And that's really where the idea came from. When I do have a project, that's the first thing I do is start drawing and making notes and just kind of thinking, getting it out of my head onto a sheet of paper. Did the drawings and had ideas of what they might look like. I got forms from a taxidermist in Louisiana, and they're actual styrofoam forms that taxidermy guys use to put the, after they skin the deer, they put it back on. And I used that as an armature. And so we set up, sawed up these pieces and built it and kind of constructed them into the forms that you see out there now. I think people instantly have an image in their head of whatever deer they see as a sculpture in their mind. And these are really, you kind of have to be there. You have to go look, because they've been humanized in the sense that they still look like deer, but they're also human. And as far as a lot of their joints, you would never see joints like that on a real deer. But I did that to kind of, I think, make them accessible. I think that's what's so seductive to me about it is that it becomes really something that people want to be with and want to, actually touch. And I love it when somebody responds in a way I never anticipated, or says something you never anticipated, and makes you think about it in a way you never thought, But I think that's what happens with public word, and that's why I think they're so important, because it really is something that's, even though it's public, it's so personal to each viewer, each person that looks at it. I think the resistance people will have to public works is usually because they encounter it and they're used to the habit of passing a place day after day after day, and then suddenly there's something different there, And almost immediately, for some weird reason, different means wrong. It's bad. It's blocking something, it's doing something, whatever. But I think over time, people get comfortable with that.
Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
PNC, committed to Central Ohio, for the achiever in you. From these contributing sponsors and viewers like you, thank you.